I've heard about 401ks and IRAs for years and years and years, but it feels like it's very new that I'm hearing about self-directed retirement accounts. Why is that?
It's not as mainstream, Liz, or Andrea. There's unfortunately not a lot of, let's just say, marketing or media around the self-directed option because your mainstream retirement institutions don't offer this. So you think about Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, even some of your bigger banks like Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, they don't truly offer a self-directed option that lets the beneficiary of the retirement funds invest in alternatives. So I will say this, over the last 10 years, companies like ours and others, in the industry, we are doing our very best to market, if you will, and expose the public to this offering or to this option. So it is becoming more popular, I would say, over the last 10 years. It's been around for decades. The option has been around for decades. But when we're competing with bigger mainstream institutional retirement systems, those systems are designed to fund Wall Street. It's just the nature of the beast. In fact, I will go as far as saying, and many would agree, retirement accounts, especially the 401k, was specifically designed to benefit Wall Street. It was designed to allow individuals, obviously, to defer taxes, make contributions, prepare, quote unquote, for retirement. But legislation was developed to funnel that money into Wall Street. So you hear about that a lot, that the self-directed version of a retirement account is the idea of breaking free from Wall Street and moving into Main Street. And that's literally what people are doing. They're moving into more Main Street or more private, if you will, private placement.
Yeah, I think that context and historical information kind of helps everyone understand, right? Like why we always hear about the employer 401ks
Yeah.
and not necessarily the self-directed retirement accounts. So with that said, at a high level, why would someone want a self-directed retirement account? Or who would you say are the people that would be the most interested or would make sense for them potentially?
Yeah. It's the individual who's been exposed to private placement opportunity. I think about the individuals who are exposed to what you and Andrea offer, Liz. They somehow came across your information. Maybe it was in a Facebook group, maybe it was in a presentation that y'all done or a meetup. They come across the opportunity that they may not have been exposed to, previously. They like what they're hearing, they like the opportunity. They know that they need that financial tool to now participate with their retirement funds. Those are the people, they run into the opportunity, so to speak. Those are the individuals that want to self-direct. You do have another bucket, if you will, or another type of individual that is genuinely looking for freedom outside of Wall Street. There is a following, there's a group out there of individuals, a big group that just want to break away from the concept of big business and Wall Street, and they would prefer to invest in more Main Street or private opportunity.
So you're talking about Main Street and private opportunities. What things can I actually invest in through a self-directed retirement account compared to my 401k through my employer? And is there a difference?
Yes, I do sometimes like to paint the picture of, that scenario. You're driving downtown, or maybe you're driving across town, and you recognize that there might be, let's just say, an apartment complex that's being completely renovated. I'm sure we've all driven down the road and we've seen a complete renovation on an apartment complex. Maybe you've watched it full cycle as you're commuting to work over the last year and a half. You watch it go from kind of crummy apartment complex to then like a beautiful, like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't mind actually living there and renting from there. We've all, for the most part, have seen something like that. That right there is almost always, I'd say 9 times out of 10, funded by individuals that are listening right now. They're funded by individuals who are willing to commit some of their personal savings account as an investor to help renovate that real estate property with a return on their investment, right? They take it from its low value, they increase the value, and ultimately they receive a return on their initial investment. People do that all the time with their retirement funds as well. They see the opportunity, they run into the opportunity because maybe their friend is actually running that renovation. They say, how can I get in on that? Those are classic real estate investment opportunities that a lot of people run into and a lot of people gravitate to because they're just so dang lucrative. So I would say real estate takes the, they take the claim, honestly. So I would say real estate, private money lending. I know that that's an industry that you gals are a part of, and that's also tied to real estate. The nice thing about private money lending for a self-directed user is the range of opportunity. And that's what I've seen in this industry over the last 8 years is the range that the individual has to come in and commit as an investor versus maybe some of the other private placements where that barrier to entry is a lot higher than most.
Hey there, it's Andrea. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe so you never miss another one. Thanks.